Hey guys, it is Scott the Steamroller Steen with winnersandwhiners.com. It's Sunday. It's the NFL, baby. Let's talk a little football, shall we? Before we get rolling, you know the drill. If you guys would take a minute, hit that like button, smash the thumb. Appreciate it. Thank you. And of course, if you haven't subscribed already, do subscribe to the Winners and Whiners YouTube channel. Check out the premium picks over there at winnersandwhiners.com. Got a lot of red hot cappers. A lot of guys had really good days on a Saturday. So, yeah, get yourself over there. If you're the kind of person that looking for a little assistance, we got it in spades. So make sure you check that out. All right. As I record this, it is halftime of the Kansas City Chiefs game. The Chiefs are up 16-7. Don't love it, don't hate it. Chiefs have been able to move the ball well, but as has often been the case this year, too many times they have been unable to finish the drives. This game could easily be 24-7, and I'd feel a lot better about it there. So we'll see what happens. My personal opinion, I think Miami's blitzing way too much. They blitz 52% of the time, and Mahomes has 167 yards at halftime. So we'll see what happens. Miami started to get their running game going. We'll see if that can continue. And, yeah, it's cold. So let's talk a little Sunday football, shall we? As the Bills and the Steelers got bumped back a day to Monday. Steelers, I guess, hadn't even left Pittsburgh yet, so it's going to make it a little tough to get there. Lake effect snow, kids. That is no joke. That is no bullshit. I know you guys have all heard my lake effect snow story when I was on the road going to a gig in Holland, Michigan. The absolute worst shit I ever encountered in my life. Just awful. So let's take a look at a game being played where the Buffalo game probably should have been played in Detroit. It's the Rams on the road heading to Detroit. Rams 3-point underdogs in this one. The Lions are one of three teams in the playoffs who've never been to the Super Bowl. And if the Jags wouldn't have shit the bed in their last game, it would have been all four teams who have never been to the Super Bowl in the playoffs. Not sure that's ever happened. Highly doubtful with the stellar history of the Jags, Lions, and Browns lately. It's highly doubtful that has happened. So, but it didn't happen this year either. But, this is a Lions team. I like this Lions team. I really do. I like Dan Campbell, the knee biters and all that shit. But I really like what he's done. He's really turned this team around, and who were just absolutely dreadful. And this year, despite never having won the North since its creation, the Lions were favored to win the division. That's exactly what they did. So they basically met their expectations for this year. Meanwhile, the Rams, allegedly a rebuilding season, either too old or too inexperienced at the other positions, not enough great skill players. Cooper Kupp's always hurt, yada, yada, yada. We saw him, absolutely fall off the cliff last year down the stretch, and nothing was expected of the Rams this year. Their win total was 6-7, depending on where you got it. And they ended up winning 10 games, including 7 of their last 8. So outstanding season for the Rams by any metric, win or lose here in this game. And despite some early success by the defense, they actually looked pretty good against the Chiefs. They looked good early in the season, but they kind of backslid into their old ways, a little backsliding going on for this Detroit Lions defense. And they haven't been great lately, especially coming down the stretch. They allowed 21.3 points per game in the final 3 weeks of their season, but it's kind of misleading because they allowed the Cowboys and Vikings twice. They played the Vikings, in fact, to pretty much move the ball downfield whenever they wanted to. But both teams, the Vikings and the Cowboys, had problems with turnovers. So, yeah, the points, sometimes it's a little bit more than how many points they've given up, and that's definitely the case in this one. And not counting the Week 18, where the Rams basically said everybody, they've scored at least 26 points in the previous 6 games, and over that span, they've averaged 31.3 points per game. They've had a top 5 offense in EPA pass and EPA rush, so they really can get it done from both sides of the ball. So I don't mind the strategy that the Lions had last week of playing everybody in Week 18. They had an outside shot at the 2 seed, but I think Campbell is a guy that's, he's got one speed, and that's going forward all the time. And I think he wanted to keep everybody fresh. Everybody go out there. They're all gamers. Unfortunately, they kind of caught a bad break when Sam Laporta hyperextended his knee. And that's a huge part of their offense. He's the second leading receiver, 889 yards for the tight end this season. And he's was able to practice on Friday. So, of course, they're saying, he's going to give it a shot. And I think he will, but I don't think you can make any kind of an argument that he's going to be 100%. And that's a problem because they rely on him a lot on the underneath stuff. The other problem that they have, and you don't hear about this nearly as much, is they're going to be without Khalif Raymond, who, besides being an outstanding punt returner, is kind of their deep guy. He's the guy that stretches the field. If you think of kind of like a McCole Hardman role, or even Hill when he was here, although Hill was more of a main guy. But these are guys that stretch the field, take the defense with them, and it allows Amon-Ra St. Brown to just absolutely eat on the yak on the crossing patterns underneath. In fact, Amon-Ra St. Brown second in yak this season, just 12 yards behind CD Lamb. So, man, I like this Detroit team. And I got to tell you, as a KC fan, I have great sympathy for them. We did basically nothing for 50 years. I get it. But I just don't think it's quite their year. I think next year could be the year of the Honolulu Blue and Silver. I like the fact that McVay has playoff experience. I don't love McVay as a coach. He's not one of my favorites, but I do like that he has postseason experience. I do like that he has a very experienced quarterback in Matt Stafford. I think they have the advantages in both those spots. I think the Rams offense too much for the Detroit defense, and I think this Rams defense does enough to get it done. Give me the dog here, guys. A little howling dog, if you will. Give me the Los Angeles Rams plus the 3 points against the Detroit Lions. And at the end of that one, you guys can join me as we pick up our winning tickets and head back to the window. All right, you guys have a great Sunday. Stay warm out there. Stay safe. Let's go win some money. We'll be back tomorrow to talk what? A little more NFL football. See you.